know a lot of shit about the wrestling world. Please, I could kill them. But I loved it every day of my life. I had a great time. I loved it. I love them for making me Chyna.
Did they make you Chyna or did you make you Chyna?
Both. Both. They can't do it without my talent. There is not another Chyna. And there never will be.
You got to think about having it all, losing it, knowing you're never going to achieve that again. Then it's like you got to be at the point of asking yourself, what's my purpose?
When she left the WWE, she got an apartment out in Santa Monica. She went from having that family at the WWE to really being on her own.
Nobody would take my call. Nobody would answer my letters. Literally pulled the rug out from underneath me because I went from like this billion-dollar commodity, right? Like on the street.
She could no longer use the Chyna name. That name was owned by the WWE, and when she left, she had to give it up.
Of course, we can't call her Chyna or else she'll be sued.
That's right. That's Vince McMahon's name.
But we could use officially Chyna Doll.
Right, you're Chyna Doll.
Right. Joni Chyna Doll Hour.
If I'm Vince McMahon, I own that brand. But can we make an exception? Let her use her name, but that would ultimately come from Vince.
I assumed that I would just deal with the heartache of the breakup and make a lateral move. So I went knocking on doors in Hollywood, and I thought, oh, I'll get a sitcom or I'll get another show. Got 3 big movies coming out. One is just another romantic wrestling comedy where I actually do some of my last wrestling.
She had some other acting gigs, nothing substantial. And I think at that point, she kind of started to panic a little bit.
This is gonna hurt.
Is there a point, Joni, when drugs come into play? You know, maybe you're taking something to get your head off of what you're going through to ease the pain.
I found myself on the bottom of a vodka bottle on many occasions. I was self-medicating for sure.
She was, again, feeling lonesome and not sure what to do. That's when she became involved with Sean, when he sort of came into the picture.
He showed up on my doorstep one day, and I was like, oh my God, we've been friends for so long. He said, I got a divorce from my wife, and he was happy to see me, and it was instant love.
She was a very comforting and felt like a safe place for me.
And she seemed really comfortable in her skin. The two had kind of meshed. But I think at the same time, those two weren't good for each other.
I just was happy to have somebody that wanted me. There's a bad person in there somewhere, and there's a fucking wonderful person in there somewhere too.
It happened so quick. That's when I started noticing a lot of the drugs and a lot of the crazy stuff, thinking oh my gosh, here we go again. Now I'm getting into another situation. How do I deal with this?
I just started dabbling and using crystal meth at the time. I was hiding my drug use from her. And I didn't realize at the time that she was hiding hers from me as well.
It's almost like they were on a boat that was sinking, and there was not a lot anybody could do to stop that. Joni found it incredibly fascinating to go to Japan. They had a different sort of respect about wrestling there.
When I was there in 2002, wrestling was huge with Inoki-san. That was with New Japan Professional Wrestling.
New Japan is the biggest pro wrestling organization in Japan. It was originally founded by Mr. Inoki, and he's more like mix of Muhammad Ali and Vince McMahon.
団体の考え方って、それを転換しなきゃいけない部分。はっきり言って選手間の中では誰もやりたくないと。
The style is called a hard style. Like you really hit the guy, slam the guy as hard as you can. So Chyna had to learn.
If you're going as a foreigner, you're getting beat up. Right. It's a scary world. We trained every day for 10 hours a day, which ultimately led to the big fight with Masahiro Chono in the Tokyo Dome with 80,000 plus people.
普通のトップレスラーでもいろんなプレッシャーの中で戦うんだけども、多分それ以上のものを彼女はずっと背負ってると。
見えてしまうのか。
俺は本当ね、3、4分ぐらいで片付けようと思ってた。
そんな声で迎えるんでありましょうか。
彼女がやっぱりね、思ってる以上に強かったんですよね。ただね、立ち上がってくるんですよね。
ローラーの顔面ですが、ローラー立ち上がりました。さあ、の中央で長野を張った。さあ、そして長野ラリアットで。
やっぱその多分見てた人たちもやっぱその諦めないで向かっていく彼女にやっぱり気持ちがこうやってグッといって、彼女の試合だったよね。普段はプロレスの試合ってうちのかみさん見ないんです、自分の試合なんかも含めて。でその日だけ来たいと。で後から聞いたらどっちを応援してるのか、ジョニーを応援してた。非常に自分の中でも難しかった試合です。
It was the most physically demanding achievement I've ever done in my life.
Let me wait till everybody's in here to tell you that I didn't lose that match because I beat his ass in front of all of his fans.
挨拶をちょっとした時に「ありがとう」って言って泣いてて、で俺もちょっとその意味がすぐには受け取れなかったんだけども、
スリーカウントは意味ないと思います。
ポイントとしてあったんじゃないかなと。
Didn't expect that, did you, Chyna?
その後はね、自分がちょっとあまりそのプライベートなところはその知らないんですけども。
She was already into relationship with ex-pac, and then drug things started to happen.
I ended up going with her. I brought coke and meth in Japan with us. I carried that on me.
Little by little, started to affect her. Like, okay, she's late, so she became flaky. So they had to fire her.
プレッシャーの中で彼女は生きてたっていうことを理解してあげたいなと思いますよね。
Are you now into alcohol big time? Are you having a problem with it?
No.
You're not having a problem.
I want to party and I don't want to be the designated driver.